Before we get into anything, if you're buying anything at the Chelsea Megastore this summer, be it training kits, retro kits, the baseball jerseys, the home kit, the away kit, the World Cup printing, whatever it is, use the discount code GBFC10 with the links in the description of this video to get 10% off your order. Let's crack into the news. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your Tuesday morning Chelsea news. This one is a big one. Today is going to be a mega day for Chelsea news here on GBFC. So, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, we are also closing in on 350,000 subscribers. We're only 2K away. So make sure, if you're not yet subscribed, that you do subscribe to the channel. Smack a like if you enjoy these early morning wake up. See the GBFC on your pages, because we have got a ton of updates to go through today, including some big excitement regarding Xavi Simons. It's not done yet, but as of right now, Chelsea are in a very good position to sign the man that you can see the highlights playing on the screen. This is from a friendly a couple of days ago, so I hope that you can actually watch this and I can keep this in the video. But even in this friendly, the man is balling out, and considering a lot of the Chelsea players are going to be very tired going into the new season, based on the fact that we're world champions. It's taken me just over a minute to put that one in there for this news video on this Tuesday morning. But Chelsea, we're going to need fresh legs, and we've got Gittins coming in. He's been training hard, and if Xavi Simons signs too, I think we're signing a serious baller here. But let's get in now to the latest. Fabrizio Romano, Xavi Simons has opened doors to Chelsea move after direct contacts with his camp. Club-to-club talks start from Tuesday. That is today, with Chelsea and Leipzig discussing deal conditions. For CFC, deal depends on outgoing. So we've got to dissect this a little bit, but let's go further into the news. Chelsea are expected to proceed in talks with RB Leipzig for Xavi Simons this week after positive feedback from the player. Matt Law also says Simons keen on Chelsea move after club make check on RB Leipzig star. Along with other attackers, bid may depend on outgoings. Florian Plettenberg here has given us a bit more of a breakdown as to what this might potentially cost Chelsea. Further talks between Chelsea and Simons' camp are taking place this evening. CFC are concretely in and are working on reaching a verbal agreement. Leipzig are ready to sell him. RB want at least 70 million euros all in, while Chelsea want to pay less. If a move to Chelsea does not work out, other teams are waiting in the wings. So, let's break this down a little bit here, because the rumour from Fabrizio also, and he posted a video quite late on Monday evening, Fabrizio Romano said that Chelsea could likely get this deal done for less than £60 million. And if that is the case, then I think we've done very well here. Remember, Xavi Simons is only 22 years old. It feels like he's been around for a long time. There's been a lot of hype about him. There's a lot of talk about him. But I think there's a serious player in there. He also scored that wonder goal that I completely forgot until I was doing more research on the player against England in the semi-finals of the Euros. But luckily for us, Ollie Watkins scored a very late goal on that day. But Xavi Simons has got it all, really. Low centre of gravity, great ability to dribble. He's got a brilliant sense of body positioning. When it comes to actually where he places himself to receive the ball, quite often he's drawing fouls, and he loves to get a shot away too. Not only that, but his vision. High footballing IQ. He can see when players are moving around him, and he's always looking for that pass, be it a long ball or a short little pass into the final third. For me, having watched Chelsea at this Club World Cup, seeing the versatility and flexibility positionally between the roaming players like Cole Palmer, Joao Pedro, Enzo Fernandez in advanced areas, putting Xavi Simons' name in with these players is incredibly exciting. People are like, well, does it make sense? We've just gone out there and bought Jamie Gittins. Different kinds of players. I don't think Xavi Simons is going to be that kind of guy that will spend his whole time isolating a fullback, beating his man, taking him on. That's what Gittins is going to do. That's what Pedro Neto can do. With the likes of Xavi Simons on the left and Esteval Willian on the right as options, Chelsea have got players that love to drift inside. Then you talk about the likes of Palmer, Pedro, the movement of these guys, the interchangeability. Obviously, we're talking about a lot of words right now that are a little bit airy-fairy in a footballing sense, but that's exactly what the Chelsea attack is going to be. And I think as much as we got a taster for what we could see moving forward against PSG, against Fluminense in that semi-final, I think Xavi Simons just adds another layer and dimension to this Chelsea team. So, the secret scout has said this: Chelsea have brought in consultant agent Ali Barrett to assist their recruitment team in the deal for Xavi Simons. He's helped on many deals at Chelsea. For the owners, they want this done. And when Chelsea do stuff like this, right, Moises Caicedo, that's £100 million plus signing. Ali Barrett was brought in then. Chelsea got that deal done. I think Nicolas Jackson was the same. Understand, 2003 born Xavi prefers, that's not a word, is it? Prefers move to the Premier League. Agreeing terms won't be an issue. He's on less than £100,000 a week. This fits everything that Chelsea would want from a player. Talks to begin between Chelsea and Leipzig to agree on fee and potential add-ons. Now, Matt Law has gone out and said something along these lines. Chelsea's qualification for the Champions League and the Club World Cup success has elevated them in the eyes of players based outside England. Xavi Simons is thought to be interested in the prospect of moving to Chelsea. Well, with a deal like this, Chelsea will first of all speak to the player. If the player is trying to ask for wages of like 300 grand, Chelsea are going to wave goodbye. See you later, we'll go for somebody else. If Xavi Simons has said, I want to play for Chelsea, I'm willing to happily fit within the wage structure, and I want to be a part of this project, I think the prices that are being rumoured here for Xavi Simons, if it's less than 60 million quid, I think we're getting ourselves a bargain. For a 22-year-old, yes, he's got 2 years left on his Leipzig deal. I think this would be an absolutely unbelievable signing for Chelsea. And we can't forget here, this Club World Cup success, I don't know about you lot, but even in America, right now I'm in the middle of nowhere, Manchester, Vermont, right? But anyone you speak to, talk about the Club World Cup, must be a Chelsea fan, must be Chelsea. Our name is on everyone's lips right now. People I'm seeing on the timeline, walking through the streets of London, through the streets of the UK, seeing more Chelsea shirts. People are talking about us again in a positive light. And as much as there'll be some footballing pundits out there that won't give Chelsea the praise that we duly and rightly deserve for our achievements this summer and what we can do financially off the back of this and what the team looks like going into the new season, you know what the media are like. They're not going to criticise Liverpool, you know, the underachievers or the overachievers for using that Coutinho. Oh, God, shut up, man. Liverpool spending hundreds upon hundreds of millions. Do they have the same amount of player sales as Chelsea? It's quite high, but it ain't as good as us, mate. We are doing very well when it comes to player sales as well, and we're going to go into some of those in a minute. Sometimes I just need to go on these like little tangents and little rants because it gets on my nerves, the amount of stick that our football club get in the media. Xavi Simons is Chelsea's next big target in the market. Simons is interested in Chelsea project. In the next few days, talks between the clubs on the price tag. I am convinced that we are going to get this one done. Before we move any further, I'm telling you, today, tomorrow, I think Xavi Simons is going to become a Chelsea player. When the player wants to come in, there isn't any problem with the wages. And if Chelsea want him, we've brought in Ali Barrett to work on the deal. I think this is ours to screw up now. Unless Arsenal do a madness today. And look, I don't want this to be some kind of like soap opera. I just want us to go out there and get this done. I think Morgan Rogers was always going to be difficult. We're going to need to rely on maybe Jackson going the other way. But at the minute, we'll talk about Jackson soon. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. So, this is also really good news that we're about to go to now. Make sure you're subscribed. Smack that like button if you haven't already. Because Chelsea, we're doing bits here. Renato Veiga to Atletico Madrid is advancing well. Chelsea seeking £35 million package. There was a few other stories and headlines talking about, at the moment, as of Monday afternoon/evening, Chelsea and Atletico's discussions for Renato Veiga were around £35 million. Chelsea, 35 million euros, sorry. Chelsea want £35 million. If that's the case, that's nearly 3 times the value that we spent on Renato Veiga in 1 year. This would be absolutely brilliant business. And at the moment, all we're hearing is good news coming out of these conversations between Chelsea and Atletico. This is the latest on that from Florian Plettenberg. Renato Veiga has almost agreed personal terms with Atletico Madrid and is keen on the move. That's the first part of the problem solved. It depends on the agreement with Chelsea. If a move to Atletico does not work, other teams are in the mix. Atletico have been in for Veiga for days and have placed him high on their shortlist. This is reported by Sky Germany. I think this is probably also going to be as good as done anytime today or tomorrow. And as much as I think Veiga's a good player, won the Nations League with Portugal, he's gone on a big loan to Juventus. Move to Atletico Madrid, I wish him all the best. Playing with Connor and Diego Simeone. So, here is the latest now on the price for Alejandro Garnacho. And when we're talking about Xavi Simons for less than 60 million quid, reading this makes me even more desperate to sign Xavi Simons. Garnacho's suitors believe he could be available for around £40 million. Chelsea, Spurs and Villa monitoring. This is from The Telegraph. Garnacho for 40 million quid or Xavi Simons for just under 60 million pounds. Please do let me know in the comments, because of course this is the GBFC community, and if you guys disagree with what I'm saying, I do like to see your reasons for it. As long as we can be polite to one another, we don't have to swear at one another, we don't have to hate each other for having differing footballing opinions. But for me, it's very simple. Xavi Simons is a player that elevates this Chelsea team. Alejandro Garnacho, not only do I not think he's a starter, but I also think there's just too many what-ifs, maybes about Garnacho that I just don't see with Xavi Simons. Now, a lot of people are saying, where does Xavi Simons play? And the answer is he can play anywhere across that front line for Chelsea. Predominantly on that left side, can cut in, can score with both his left and his right feet. And the dribbling's great too. Can come inside, interchange with other players. And he can also be a backup for the number 10, which is why it's very important here for Joao Pedro. I think if Xavi Simons comes in, this is basically going to be Enzo Maresca and the Chelsea team being like, Joao Pedro, now you're going to have to go out there and be your number 9. Because it was already going to be very difficult for Pedro to take Palmer's spot if he was going to play as that kind of second striker, advancing number 10. The left wing, if you get Gittins and Xavi Simons, it is pointing, it's so obvious that Joao Pedro would then be looked at as an out-and-out number 9, because as much as Chelsea might still be looking at attackers, I think this would be attacking business done. The latest now on Nicolas Jackson. Manchester United are currently unlikely to bid for Nicolas Jackson. A lot would have to change to alter that in the coming weeks. And then Ben Jacobs also says this: not impossible due to respect for the Chelsea striker, whose name has come up internally, but a possible move now downplayed as it stands. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm kind of relieved about this, to be honest, because I know a lot of people wanted Nicolas Jackson sold. And when I look at the business that we're doing right now, having Nicolas Jackson as an option as a striker this season, yes, it's still a gamble, because if he doesn't play very much, because Joao Pedro and Liam Delap are as good as I think they might be, Jackson might not get much game time this season. But also, we could also see him finally used in other positions. Nicolas Jackson is a brilliant dribbler in behind defences, right? So I think there's definitely another way that he can be utilised. And as much as Maresca has been so clear, hammering home that Nicolas Jackson isn't a winger, in Maresca's mind he's a striker, I also think you got to look at signing Delap and Joao Pedro and all of these other stories that we're seeing about players that Chelsea are linked with. To me, this does point towards maybe he's not as satisfied with Nicolas Jackson as we've been led to believe. So in my opinion, this is actually good news. I am happy that Chelsea probably won't be selling Nicolas Jackson to Manchester United. Personally, as a prediction, I think United are going to go in for Benjamin Sesko. I don't think, despite the delays, there's any concern about Viktor Gyökeres signing for Arsenal. I think he will end up an Arsenal player, and I think Manchester United will go in for Benjamin Sesko. Let's move now Chelsea will use Hugo Ekitike's £79 million deal as a benchmark if Jackson is to leave. Xavi Simons, Garnacho, Morgan Rogers and Kenan Yildiz are some of the players Chelsea are currently looking at. Now, this is from Sky Caver, and I don't know how highly, if at all, you guys rate Sky Sports journalists these days, but Chelsea being interested in Kenan Yildiz. A lot of you guys have asked me to talk about him on the channel. There's a lot of people that are big fans of him. I'm not going to lie, before the Club World Cup, I wasn't really that clued up on him. I hadn't seen him too much at Juventus. Watched him in the Club World Cup, and I'm like, blimey, this kid is the real deal. And I don't know about you lot, but to see Chelsea linked with these kind of players feels good. And the more, I did a live stream yesterday. If you want to go and watch that, we kind of go into all the stuff we've been into here, but with a bit more tactical side of things too. And I'll keep doing those streams, by the way. So make sure you are subscribed, because in the afternoon/evenings UK time, I'm going to start doing more live streams. So I just love it chatting with you lot. But it looks to me as though the figures that we're looking at to come into this squad this season, lots of people are saying we don't even need more attackers. You know how crazy that is to be in a transfer window at Chelsea where we're like, no, stop being linked with everybody. We don't need anyone else. And I still think that we could be close here to a squad that can actually compete for the Premier League. Some of the players that we are being linked with right now, if we get Xavi Simons as an option off the left, Palmer in the middle as well, if Esteval really hits the ground running here, with Pedro Neto on that right side, the competition for places, this isn't about, oh, we don't need him, why are we spending this? This is about depth. Not every player that we sign, if he doesn't fit in the starting 11 immediately, doesn't mean it's a waste of money. We need to have, and I've said this for years, Man City, the way that they built their success was if someone needed resting, was injured, Pep Guardiola had the exact player to just come in and be like, straight in there, go and do the job that the other guy was doing. And that's exactly how they've won so many trophies. And if Maresca's got that at his disposal, having seen him lift 2 in the last 2 months, I'm telling you now, I'm getting very excited. But look, it's early on Tuesday morning. I love to get these videos out first thing so that if you guys are on the way to work, you're on the way to school, or wherever you are in the world, this is the start of the English day. So you get the news here, and as the day goes on, I'm going to be keeping an eye on everything and keeping you guys up to date. So stay tuned on that one. And the final piece of news that we're going to discuss here, Nkunku, Felix, Sterling all leaving Chelsea. And this is quite a big piece of news, really, because I wouldn't be surprised, and I've left this to the end of the video on purpose, maybe we see some kind of conversation/negotiation here that could send Nkunku back to Leipzig. Maybe. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it did. So we know now, Felix Nkunku definitely leaving. A lot of people have been saying maybe Christopher Nkunku stays at Chelsea this summer. It's looking to me, particularly now that Xavi Simons is coming, Nkunku's going to leave. But I will say he can leave with his head held high because he did very well in the Club World Cup, tried very hard, scored a goal, and was very important on the way. So, going to wrap this Chelsea news video up here. It's been a stacked one this morning. Let me know your thoughts on Xavi Simons in the comments down below. And fingers crossed, I'm hoping the next time I speak to you guys, we're going to be talking about bids going in. We're going to be talking about, hopefully, Chelsea getting a bargain. I think Xavi Simons is a baller. I think he's absolutely going to benefit the squad this season if we get this over the line. As I said at the start of the video, make sure if you're buying the new kits this season, or even if it's the retro ones, training kits, everything at the Chelsea Online Megastore, use the discount code GBFC10 through the links in the description, and you get 10% off your order. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.